I want to take a persona approach over here.
Mhm.
The open source organization is here, like one open source organization. I
Yeah.
am having my project. How will I select my mentees? How will I actually evaluate them?
Mhm. Yes. So, as an organization, it's really important to see uh, to talk with
Mm-hmm.
potential mentees, to understand your community, and to see what's happening. There are several tools
Right.
that can help with this. It's really
Mm-hmm.
important for you to be there in the chats, looking at this, but also you can use
Mm-hmm.
tools to evaluate this. So
Right.
it's interesting because the Linux Foundation provides a lot of those tools. They have something called LFX Insights, and you can
Mm-hmm.
actually see who are people who are most participating in the chats, who are the
Mm-hmm.
most people who are contributing with code,
Mm-hmm.
opening issues, doing a pull requests, and so you can get a sense in a qualitative manner, but also in a
Mm-hmm.
quantitative manner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can use analytics, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really important for you also to have these conversations with the community, not just
Right.
pure analytics, but really, if possible, one-to-one conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's not possible, but at least organize some meetings, some events where people can talk and share information.
Mm-hmm. Right. So there are multiple things. Now, actually, as a mentee, I
Mhm.
would be really interested in knowing this, like as a person of a mentee. So there are so many things these organizations are doing. Somebody is like looking for code. Somebody is looking for how somebody is chatting, or maybe how active
Mhm.
they are. Somebody is looking for adding new issues. Somebody is looking for
Yeah,
contributing as PRs, events. How, as a mentee, will I approach this?
you have to follow your passion. Uh,
Right.
if you like, yeah, if you like documentation, just start contributing with documentation, and don't feel afraid to make errors, to make mistakes. It's
Right.
perfectly fine. And start
Hmm.
small. Sometimes it's so challenging. Sometimes the documentation is huge, but don't be afraid to start small and just share your experience as well.
Right.
Also, the code base. Sometimes the code base is very complex. This is
Mm-hmm.
something that particular affects us because our project is very complex. It's written in
Right.
Rust. It uses WebAssembly. It's very sophisticated to actually help solve those issues
Mm-hmm.
for the internals. But
Right.
maybe you can create demos for the application, so
Right.
you don't have to deep dive into that. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things that you can do. So building demos using your
Mm-hmm.
software, using your open source project, is also
Mm-hmm.
a very nice way to contribute. And
Right.
just start sharing, making questions. Go on the
Mm-hmm.
chat of the open source projects and start
Mm-hmm.
asking and answering questions, getting other members involved as well. Develop your leadership skills. So uh,
Right.
organizations will notice this. They'll notice when somebody is asking questions, answering questions, uh, developing codes, sharing their knowledge, their experience. So this is a great way for you to really stand out, you know, and really showing your passion. Even
Right.
maybe if you want to organize an event
Mm-hmm.
in an online event or maybe an in-person event when things are better, that's also a
Right.
possibility, right? And get people together. So those are my recommendations. And this is something that when I mentioned self-select, this is what I mean by it. You are the one
Hmm.
who's actually trying all you can to do this and
Mm-hmm.
uh, and be visible, right? Even if it doesn't work out, even if you're not selected, even so, the process is a great learning experience, and everything that you've done, everything that you
Mm-hmm.
accomplished is there. It's online. Anybody can
Right.
see it. if you want to apply for an internship or another opportunity, that's
Mm-hmm.
things you can reference and say, hey, this is what I did there on this project, on
Right.
this events, on this documentation.
Right. So basically, as a mentee, if you do these things, it's a better chance to get selected in an organization. And definitely, it's the first thing is following your passion for sure. Starting to contribute, even the smallest thing, as I've written down, sharing the experiences, definitely
E-
like telling everyone how
Exactly.
you did it, answering questions. Right? You're saying
Perfect. You
something,
have
please?
to follow,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to follow your passion, and you have to do something that you love, something that makes
Right.
sense for you. Uh,
Exactly.
I and I so when I helped, for example, the OSI with their websites, I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to help them. I was
Right.
not thinking about working with them at a later point, but this
Mm-hmm.
happens. So I started that connection out of pure, I would say, love. I wanted to help them. I
Mm-hmm.
have a great respect for the OSI, and
Mm-hmm.
later I got this chance to work with them. So it's a very small world, the open source world. So
Right.
by contributing and helping each other, you open more opportunities.
Right, exactly. So the motivation matters, and that's one of the biggest things. While selecting your organization as well, that motivation that you want to help, and they
Yeah.
actually get that because they know how you are talking to each one. They actually
Yeah.
get that. So, few of the additional things which I really liked is building the demo, understanding those leadership skills, and
Yeah.
organizing events. This is not a lot of people do, but if they do, they have a much higher chance. And that is very, very
Absolutely.
interesting points that you have highlighted over here. Okay, so since we are running low on time, I just want to ask one final question. We have not
Mhm.
taken in the persona of a mentee of how they will go around and select an organization. Definitely, we talked about
Mhm.
motivation, and if they love that organization, they will. But maybe, for example, they love Fosasia, and I remember 3 years ago,
Yeah.
Fosasia did not get selected in GSOC, for example.
Mhm.
That happens. What should they do now? Like that particular organization not selected, how will they go around and search for another one?
Yes, so it's very possible that you won't get selected, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. But uh, you can still work together with FOSS Asia or
Mm-hmm.
whichever organization that you're passionate about, and
Mm-hmm.
opportunities will open up.
Right.
Even the important thing is to follow your passion, follow things that you're interested in. So, for example, if you're interested in cybersecurity or if you're
Mm-hmm.
interested in the clouds, not necessarily you're going to be at a specific organization or a specific project or company, in fact, but
Mm-hmm.
at least there's there's a lot of projects and a lot of communities and a lot of companies that are in the same ecosystem. So keep keep following your passion, keep working in what you love, and the ecosystem is large enough. You might not be selected for one project, but the
Mm-hmm.
other next one you might get an internship or
Right.
whatever. So that's my recommendation, really.